Giants are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The London Monarchs are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Toronto Mounties are now on the clock. The Orlando Wizards are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The London Monarchs are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Houston Oilers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Toronto Mounties are now on the clock. The Orlando Wizards are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. Tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden,
All y'all fools my sons. Bag a bulk me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so
The
hard.
Houston Oilers are now on the clock.
Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like
The
that.
Bengals are now on the clock.
New Orleans, big Snoop Dogg got a Madden lead. His team is off the hook and you don't really want
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy. And tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy. And tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some. But you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag a bulk me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you.
Well, wait, looks like both war rooms are feverishly back on the phones. I think that means a trade is coming. The Houston Oilers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock.
You better call back
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
The Houston Oilers are now on the clock.
I just got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
Dying from laughter. When it come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win.